A very good morning to you all, and welcome to day 2 of the ASEAN-India Youth Summit. After the very fun evening we had last evening with the open mic session, I'm afraid today morning is going to be a little of a heavier session, but we will try to make it as light and optimistic as my good friend Ambassador Ina Krishnamurthy said we should do. And since you all are young people, optimism is definitely in the air. So I have the privilege of speaking first on this subject that we have before us, and the subject is India and ASEAN, poles in a multipolar world. I could not have had a more experienced and knowledgeable panel to speak on the subject to you. I have Her Excellency, Ambassador Ina Krishnamurthy, Ambassador of Indonesia to India. I have Datuk Professor Muhammad Faiz Abdullah, Chairman of the Institute of Strategic and International Studies of Myanmar, and also His Excellency U Thant Chaw, former Deputy Foreign Minister of Myanmar and also Chairman of the Myanmar Institute of Strategic and International Studies. So, the subject is India and ASEAN, poles in a multipolar world. So what is a multipolar world? I know most of you do not know of a bipolar world. Most of you were not born when the Cold War ended. And let me tell you, it was not a very happy world. And in that world, India, along with Indonesia, were the torchbearers from this region in what we called then non-alignment. We did not wish to be aligned with any one of the two poles that were existent then. In many ways, non-alignment is a precursor to a multipolar world, and our objectives in staying non-aligned was to promote the idea of a cooperative world order which was not divided between two power blocks. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, we had a brief period of a unipolar world, and today we have signs of a return to a bipolar Cold War period, which we should guard against. India has always maintained our independence in foreign policy and to preserve our strategic autonomy. The growth of ASEAN too has been because the countries of ASEAN did not wish to have to take sides. For India, multipolarity is an article of faith. It is a democracy among nations. Why multipolarity? Because, number one, bipolarity is a zero-sum game. The gains of one are the losses of the other. Multipolarity is also a cooperative world, and the challenges of today's world are too big to be solved by one or the other power. Nationalism of great powers, whether economic or military, can take nations only so far, and in the end, everyone loses. Therefore, multilateralism and international cooperation are at the bedrock of multipolarity. For India, ASEAN is certainly a very important pole in this multipolar world. Your population of about 670 million is the third largest in the world after India and China. Your economy is also about the same size as India's. You are a fast-growing region. Your population is young, just like India, with tremendous potential for growth. And your location is very strategic, straddling the key ocean lines of trade and commerce. ASEAN also has unmatched convening power, by which I mean the East Asia Summit that ASEAN convenes, where all the poles of the world are brought together. You have summit relations with all other poles in the world, whether it is the United States, China, Russia, India, the European Union, Japan, etc. So no doubt ASEAN is a very important pole in this multipolar world. And the importance that we give to ASEAN, you can gauge by the fact that in the past year alone, with almost every country of ASEAN, we have had the highest level of interactions, by which I mean visits, incoming and outgoing visits. With some of your countries, we have had more than one leadership level visits. Ambassador Krishnamurthy will vouch for the fact that these visits are not really just visits. They catapult the relationship to a far higher plane and bring about bilateral cooperation in many new areas every time such a high-level visit happens. So with almost every country except one, and I know I see Ambassador there, but we will have another visit with that country that will make all 10 of ASEAN countries, and also I have accompanied the President of India to Timor-Leste. So with all 11 countries present here, we have had the highest, or we are about to have the highest level of interactions. So both of us are also two poles of the global south, and that also brings together a lot of interests that we have in common, and the importance of our cooperation is paramount. So with these opening remarks to kind of set the context in which we are going to discuss, I will one by one hand over to my three panelists to make opening remarks. And then, of course, we would wish to have a very interactive session where I would welcome questions, comments that all of you might have.